Join me as I take on the challenge of escaping this haunted bus ride. Can I make it out before the spooky surprises get me? The legend of the haunted bus ride has been circulating around town for years, striking fear into the hearts of many. They say that if you board this bus, you'll be in for a ride of terror. The story goes that a bus, once used for daily commutes, was involved in a tragic accident that claimed the lives of everyone on board. Since then, people have reported strange occurrences and sightings whenever the bus is mentioned. The eerie atmosphere surrounding the bus has led many to believe that it's haunted by the restless spirits of the deceased. Some claim to have seen the ghostly apparitions of passengers, while others have reported hearing strange noises and screams coming from the bus. The legend has become a sort of urban myth, with many daring each other to take on the challenge of riding the bus. Despite the warnings, many thrill seekers have attempted to ride the bus, but none have ever made it out unscathed. The experience is said to be intense, with many reporting feelings of intense fear and anxiety. The haunted bus ride has become a sort of rite of passage for those seeking a thrill. The mystery surrounding the bus has only added to its allure, with many trying to uncover the truth behind the hauntings. Was it just a tragic accident, or is there something more sinister at play? As I stood in front of the old, abandoned depot, I couldn't help but feel a shiver run down my spine. The once bustling station was now a desolate and foreboding place, a perfect setting for a terrifying experience. I took a deep breath, mentally preparing myself for what was to come. The bus, an old and rickety vehicle, was parked nearby, its windows like empty eyes staring back at me. The ride to the bus was uneventful, but the atmosphere was tense. I walked through the deserted streets, the only sound being my footsteps echoing off the buildings. I felt like I was being watched, and the trees seemed to loom over me like skeletal fingers. As I approached the bus, I noticed something strange. The doors were slightly ajar, as if someone or something had recently passed through them. The bus seemed to loom over me, its presence both ominous and intriguing. I glanced around, but there was no one in sight. The air was heavy with an eerie silence, and I could feel my heart pounding in my chest. I pushed open the creaky door and stepped inside. The interior was dimly lit, with only a few flickering lights illuminating the empty seats. I took a seat near the back, trying to calm my racing thoughts. As I looked around, I noticed something strange. There were old newspaper clippings on the seats, each one telling the story of a tragic bus accident. As I settled in, I heard a faint whispering in my ear. It was soft at first, but grew louder and more urgent. I spun around, but there was no one there. The whispering seemed to come from all around me, echoing off the walls of the bus. My heart racing, I tried to shake off the feeling of unease. The bus suddenly lurched forward, and I stumbled. I grabbed onto the seat in front of me to steady myself. The whispering grew louder, more frantic. I felt a cold breeze pass by me, and I saw a shadowy figure flit across my vision. My instincts screamed at me to get out, but my feet seemed rooted to the spot. The bus continued to move, taking me deeper into the heart of the haunted ride. I was trapped, and I knew I had to think fast if I wanted to escape. Panic set in as I scrambled to my feet. I yanked on the cord to open the emergency exit, but it wouldn't budge. The bus seemed to be picking up speed, and I stumbled down the aisle, desperate to find another way out. The whispering grew louder still, a cacophony of terror in my ears. I spotted a side door, partially hidden by a tattered curtain. I yanked it open, and a rush of cool air hit me like a slap in the face. I didn't hesitate. I leapt out of the bus and hit the ground running. I didn't stop until I was back at the depot, gasping for breath. I looked back at the bus, and for a moment, I could have sworn I saw a figure in the window, watching me. The experience had left me shaken, but I knew I had to process what had just happened. Had I really escaped, or was I just part of some twisted game? The haunted bus ride had left me with more questions than answers. Had I really encountered a malevolent spirit, or was it just my imagination playing tricks on me? As I walked away from the depot, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd left something behind. The bus, the legend, the terror, it all seemed to be still out there, waiting for its next victim. The experience had been intense, but it had also given me a newfound respect for the unknown. I'd faced my fears and come out on top, but I knew I'd never forget the terror of that haunted bus ride. If you've enjoyed this terrifying tale, be sure to check out my other video, where I take on an abandoned asylum. Share your thoughts on this story in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling content.